Joining us now is historian Greg Shirley, author of a new book, December 1941, 31 Days That Changed America and Saved the World. Greg, good morning to you.
Good morning, Chris.
On this 70th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor, what feelings come to mind for you?
Well, I think about it from a personal perspective, also from the historical perspective. My father's oldest brother enlisted in 1943 at age 18, was in the Navy, was off the Essex in January 10th, 1945, and was shot down and killed. That was his 20th birthday. But my family, like many other American families, was deeply involved volunteering in the war effort as well. My grandfather was a block captain for civil defense, and my father as a child did scrap drives and metal drives. My mother did likewise. Both my grandmothers were Rosie the Riveters, so our family, like many others, were deeply steeped in doing whatever they could to help win the war.
Americans really came together quickly after Pearl Harbor.
Yes.
The call to serve was met with astounding numbers.
It was astonishing, Chris. The afternoon of December 7th, the Navy, which wasn't even meeting its recruiting goals, was flooded with prospective enlistees, and that was across all the services. They all had to go on 24/7 with their offices open constantly because there were so many people trying to enlist, and it wasn't just young men. It was veterans of the Spanish-American War, veterans of World War I. Women were trying to enlist. The outpouring was astonishing. There's only one way to describe this country after December 7th and December 11th is just unity, complete and total unity.
There have been obviously a number of books written about World War II and of course about Pearl Harbor. Why did you decide to focus on 31 days in December of 1941?
Well, I think that it's probably one of the most important and historic months in the history of the American Republic. We've had very important days, obviously, July 4th, 1776, or September 17th, 1787, or April of 1861. But in terms of the impact on this country from top to bottom, from government, culture, the economy, how we view ourselves in the world, this month changes America radically and forever.
Why do you think the U.S. was caught so off guard on December 7th?
Failure of imagination. We simply didn't, even though Japan had been engaged in increasingly militaristic behavior over the previous 10 years. They had resigned from the League of Nations. They had signed the Tripartite Pact with Nazi Germany and Fascist Italy. We simply didn't think that they had the tenacity or the wherewithal to sail a huge armada thousands of miles across open ocean to then attack us. And not only did they attack us on December 7th at Pearl, they also attacked us at Wake Island, Guam, Midway, and then the British at Singapore and Hong Kong. And they also attacked us at the Philippines. It was a massive strike on December 7th.
One of the things from your book that stood out to me, you said that Franklin Roosevelt was the only president, the only man that you thought that could have led America and its allies in World War II. Why did you think that? And what did you learn about him while working on this book?
There was a historian and writer in the 1840s by the name of Thomas Carlyle who postulated the great man theory of history. And I think that if you look at his conduct as a president, as a leader, leading the American people, leading the military, his calm demeanor, his command of the White House, and he was not lost in power. He knew, I think, that he was destined for this time. Just as maybe Washington and Lincoln and Reagan knew that they were destined for their times to also, in my opinion, become great presidents.
Well, Craig Shirley, thanks so much for taking the time speaking with us this morning. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good to chat with you. And you can read an excerpt from December 1941 on our website, earlyshow.cbsnews.com.